Hey YouTube, I'm back in the community garden right now. The last time I shot a video, I was putting on tags in the trees, but then my camera died when I was going to show you the actual tags. So this is about a week later. I'm back here, and I'll show you a few of the tags. So here is the pear tree. I'll put the camera like this. All I did is include the name of the pear, including the variety that was listed. Also my name and the time that I planted it. So in this case it just says fall 2016. I don't think the specific day matters, and I also don't know what it was. So it's a Saturday. What is it? March 11th, I think, 2017. And as you can tell, it's back cold again. I forgot a hat, which is why I'm wearing a t-shirt I still had in my car on my head. Does the trick in a pinch. But yeah, so the garden is just not quite ready to go, which is not surprising. In a typical year, this is zone 5A, 5B, right on the border. So I think the average frost, last frost date is May 10th to May 15th, and it's March, so you wouldn't expect that we could plant yet. That being said, it's been up in the 70s some of the days, so it's tricking us. It's making everyone long for spring when spring's not quite ready. My friend and I looked for ramps a couple days ago, but they're not up yet. But I can show you a few things around the garden. This is the big tree incubator. Put the camera like this. I made it double wide. I haven't actually uploaded that video yet, or as of when I'm making this video. But I did make a video trying to show how I constructed this. It was inspired by ABC Acres, which the farmer, I forget his name, but the farmer set up hay bales and filled it in with the same type of soil mixture for the same ends. So this is the same inspired, but using the right context materials. That's what everyone talks about, use the context. So I was thinking that I would walk around the community garden and show you some other plots. Kind of give you a sense of what I see them. A lot of people doing a lot of cool things. So here's a garden. It's my neighbor, a guy named Reed. He had a really nice garden last year. I think one thing that he did really well was growing things inside to transplant outside, because all of his crops were way ahead of my crops. And I had tried to grow some things inside, but I think he did it better. And he also set up some more legit infrastructure. You can see some of the trellises that he has. A few things that I would do differently, or that I'm doing differently, is that I don't like the exposed dirt. Now you can see in some spots he's added pine needles, but other spots, like right in front, there's a big pile of exposed dirt. And that always just pains me. It hurts my heart when I see exposed dirt. So this plot, yeah, it was fallow last year. No one did anything with it, so that's why there's so much debris. But maybe, except for the seed bank of weeds that's going to be there now, it will be quite fertile. The soil should be good. Another one that I think they abandoned it last year. This plot had quite a bit in it last year, but it looks like they cleaned it out quite a bit. I forget who does that. This plot is very beautiful in the summertime. I believe the farmer's name is Nick, or the gardener's name, whatever you want to call him. But I went on a compost order with him. We have organic compost here. So that's what the dark black soil is. It looks a little bit rough right now because it's, put to bed for winter, but it was a really nice plot. This one looks like it was probably also fallow last year. This is actually two plots. It looks like one plot, but it's actually two. So this is a guy named Nick, a good friend of mine, and he has a lot of cool stuff. So you can see the Kiss Me Under the Garden Gate flowers, which are the tall posts. Not actually a native flower, but very pretty, and it makes a ton of biomass. He also had some castor beans, a lot of tomatoes, a lot of garlic, a lot of onions, and you can see that he's used leaves to mulch the whole bed for winter, which is really nice to see. And I think this guy's name is Andrew. He's also used a lot of leaves to incubate to mulch over his plot. So that's nice to see. And it looks like there's a fair amount of garlic. You can almost see some garlic peeking up through the leaves. He also had a lot of comfrey and Jerusalem artichoke and a whole bunch of cool plants. This looks like it might be fallow as well. It looks like these people thought about using leaves as compost and then just didn't get quite around to it. Actually, this is John's plot. John's one of the garden elders of the community garden. He does a lot of tomatoes. You can see his tomato trellises in here. So that's what he does. a 3-tiered system, and sometime I'll have him on so he can talk about what he does. But basically he uses 3 different levels of wide gauging to prop up his tomatoes. And he's actually won the tomato competition at the state fair several times, so he knows what he's talking about. And I don't know who farms here, but I've always been really impressed because it always looks really neat, and they grow a pretty wide diversity of crops. It looks like they have a big thing of compost ready for next year. So this person definitely puts some time and effort in their plot. There's a whole nother row of plots on the far side, but for the most part those are less established, I think, than some of these other plots that have had it for a few years. And there's also another row of plots over there, but I think I'll save those for a different video, maybe a different time of year. They took out, there was a gazebo, that's what that concrete slab is. Also, they've just put in a fruit tree. Now, I've personally put in some fruit trees, but this is an official garden plot fruit tree, and I haven't actually looked at it before, so let's go look at it. It says it's in memory of Ormez Fati. In memory of Ormez Fati. So it looks like maybe a pear tree, I would say. There's no tag on it anymore, but it looks like it's had a little bit of damage from the wind or maybe deer, but I think it should be fine. So yeah, maybe I'll graft on some of my pear to this one and some of this one onto my pear. We'll have a pear fusion. So that's the video for today. I hope you liked what you saw, and then in the coming weeks, when spring is actually here, we'll have a lot more fun because you'll see flowers and new things coming up. I need to plan out today kind of what I'm looking for, because last year I did a lot of different crops. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. This year, I'm going to focus on the 2 ones that worked best that I saved seeds from. The cherry tomatoes, the open pollinated cherry tomatoes. Granted, there's a few other varieties around the garden, so I think they'll be somewhat cherry. They were originally cherries, but we'll see how they turn out. And then also this really dark green cucumber, also heirloom seeds from Seed Savers. I forget the name of it, but it was perfect. So I'll make a video today, but I'll separate it into a different video about how I'm going to fight the what do you call it? This will be, I'll edit this out. Zucchini borer, or squash borer is the insect. It's a moth that lays its eggs in the zucchini and other types of squashes, and they burrow into the stem and they just destroy it. It's awful. So that really killed most of my melons and whatnot last year, but I'll get in that in the next video. And then also I'll plant a lot of greens, a lot of kales, some epazote, some basils of different kinds, radishes, maybe carrots, and then perennials. I think I'm going to focus on those, and peas. I don't know, it'll be a lot of different things. I'll get into that in different videos as well. So I'm going to cut it short. Have a nice day and stay awesome, as John Green would say. All right, bye-bye.